You guys know me too. You guys know me too well. I can't. I can't figure. It goes. My kids haven't figured me out as well as you guys have. It's so good. Anyway, so striking perspectives of striking. It depends because some of you are teachers, right? So this is important. And also, maybe not a teacher, but maybe you're explaining it to your friends. Maybe you're trying to explain what system is to your friends. Guys, just mute it if you can. I think Alberto, just mute, please. We don't crosstalk. So this is inevitably the problem. Because when I first started Systema, there was no reference points. There's no videos. Most martial artists still don't know what Systema is, but back then it was really obscure. Okay, really, really obscure. So I was always struggling. How do I explain it to people what we do? Because on the surface, maybe it seems kind of crazy, or it doesn't seem, I don't know, it didn't seem like there's a pattern to it or some sort of explanation. So when you explain strikes, whether it's to a student or to somebody, you have to say to yourself, what is it that you want to do with your hands? Okay, so some people will say, what do you mean? Well, look, there's a knife for cutting your food, and then there's a surgeon. A surgeon is trying to heal you. Then there's a criminal who's trying to kill you. And then there's, well, maybe the doctor's trying to kill you too. I don't know. But anyway, that's a different story. But the doctor's trying to heal you. The criminal is trying to kill you, maybe. And then you're trying to cut your meat. That's the same with fists. You ever see the person that inflicts the most pain in me is a massage therapist. And what do they use? Fists, thumb, elbows, so much pain. And all they want to do is help me. And this inflicts a lot of pain, right? So there's the entire spectrum when you understand strikes. There's the entire spectrum. And then there's sometimes we punch or we strike with no logic. So in other words, something, you ever seen a guy get mad and then punch a wall? There's no logic. Why would you punch the wall? Right? It's an emotional reaction, right? That happens too. And then there's also punches that people really deserve. You're like, yeah, man, I feel great about this. That's it. That guy deserved it 100%. Then there's other punches where you're playing. So there's that entire spectrum of strikes. You got that much. Now, for some people, giving strikes is great. And for other people, taking strike is great. And then depending on the time, it might be flipped. So I loved striking. I've always enjoyed it. But then there came a time where Vladimir had asked me, he said, I think you need to stop striking people for a while. I said, why? He goes, because I think you've understood as much as you can understand right now. You're at the top of understanding. You need to see it from a different perspective. So you should let people punch you more, and you should punch them very little or not at all. I said, really? Okay, well, that's my teacher's advice. I'm going to try take it. Now, how long? He goes, I don't know. I'll let you know, maybe a couple of years. 2 years, guys. 2 years. I was a punching bag up at HQ. I'm serious. People punched me hard. I didn't punch anybody back. And guess what? When I finally started punching people, it changed. I saw it differently. I saw the punch as an impact. I felt it on me, and now I could give it better back. I had a better understanding of the flavors and the texture of punches. It really changed me. And I don't think I ever would have learned it if I didn't do that, right? So, because at that time, I enjoyed it too much. I needed to feel that, because it's not that enjoyable to take punches, especially for people that don't know what they're doing. It can be quite painful. And I did sustain a few injuries, good ones. But I learned a lot about punching. Okay, so it's a huge topic, and it's a huge window. Like, there are some times where I go to class and people want to punch me. I'm like, no, I'm not in that place. Like, I'm angry or upset or something, and it's not good for me to take punches or give punches for that matter. And you have to know that about yourself. Generally, depending on stress levels and things like that, sometimes it's better for you to take punches, sometimes better for you to give punches. You'll know because you'll feel it awkward. Does that make sense, guys? Or have I lost everybody here? I don't want to go off the grid, but punches are very philosophical. They're very deep. They're an expression of yourself, of the level, right? And make no doubt about it. And what's changed from, let's say, 10 years ago, nowadays, fast forward to nowadays with COVID and with all this restrictions and everything like that, we have a whole host of emotional issues. So we have students that are coming to class and they're stressed because they've been home all day, or they've got problems, and then emotional components appearing. So strikes exacerbate emotional components. If I'm already upset and you start hitting me, I'm going to get out of control. If you're barely hanging on, like emotionally, and somebody starts whacking on you, I'm not sure that's going to go very well, right? So what I always say, you can never go wrong with pushes. So it's very important for you guys to study pushes a lot more first. Well, especially at the beginning. Maybe you go to class and you don't know who's there, or you don't know the person that well, you don't know how, you just start pushing. And from the pushing, you can see how the person's body's reacting. And then that will tell you if they're ready for strikes, if it's something that would be good for them that day. It literally is a day-to-day thing. That makes sense? That makes sense, guys? Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now, when you look at a strike, I can tell you there's two nemesis of the strike. And the number one nemesis of a good strike is shoulders. Okay. So you have to know that. So let's look at the shoulders a little bit now. So stand up if you're not already standing up, and just start. And I want you to start to move your shoulders, right? And just at the beginning, just forward and backwards, up and down. Yeah, like just kind of the basic ways: forward, backwards, up, and down. And the more you do this, don't do it as a robotic thing. Do it as a feeling thing, right? Like feel. So I'm going as far forward as I can. I'm going as far backwards, as far down. Down is interesting. Down and up. So down, back, forward. So they match. My shoulders are doing the exact same thing. They're not doing separate things. They're doing them exactly the same. And I'm trying to find the extreme. So I'm going up as high as I can. I'm going down as low as I go, like really softening the shoulder. I'm going back as far as I can, and then forward. And just keep doing that. And the shoulders should copy each other. Good. And now one at a time. So just pick a shoulder. Okay. So excuse me. I pick my left shoulder, and I'm going to start to move it up, down, forward, and back. Just the four directions, right? And try on the back side to keep this shoulder quite still, so it's unaffected if you can, right? So you don't have to tense it, but you want to try keep it as unaffected as you can, right? Okay, now the other side, on the other shoulder. And you should notice a little bit of a difference, just because, well, usually you have I guess, a dominant arm usually does more of the lifting or burdening of your body. Like for me, it's the right side for sure. I could feel it different than the left. Good. Now relax. Now the shoulders should do the opposite thing. So if one shoulder's up, one shoulder's down. So it's like that, right? If one shoulder's forward, one shoulder's back. Yeah, they're doing opposite things with each other. So they're stretching in the opposite ways. Okay, good. Hands together, just kind of grasp them kind of together. So they're kind of in front of your body now. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to play with your shoulders and your arms. Just, I'm not moving, I'm not trying to move my arms. They're kind of tagging along. So I kind of move my shoulders. I kind of move my shoulders and my hands just happen to be together, but I'm not trying to do anything with my arms specifically, right? Now my hands are neutral. I'm grasping them, but I'm not pulling or pushing. It's light grip, so it's kind of very neutral grip. So they're not in, other than being joined together, I'm not using them to move my shoulders. It's just strictly my shoulders now. It's just my hands happen to look like this, right? And then now what I want you to do, so that's the first one, it's kind of neutral. Now you're gonna grab them and you're gonna, or I guess you don't have to grab, you can squeeze. So now I'm not too hard, guys, just squeeze in, right? Squeeze in. And now I start to move my shoulders, but I have a constant inward pressure, okay? So you start to kind of move from your shoulders, but I'm always squeezing in, okay? Maybe 25%. And I start to move my shoulders, but I have to keep an inward pressure. And I'm keeping it roughly at my chest level or stomach level, somewhere here, somewhere in front of your body. Okay, good. Give your arms a shake for a second. Give your arms a shake. What you're going to feel is the wording I've heard is that because the shoulders carry so much of our daily stress, like our stresses in life, they hide psychological tension as well as like mental tension, like all that stuff in the shoulders. So by doing all this work, you start to fatigue the shoulders in such a way that they relax, like you're using them, you're working with them now, and over time they start to relax and relax and relax. So that's what we're doing a lot of this for. So now I want you to grab and you're pushing in, but it's more at like your face level, right? So it's more like in front of your face. And you start to move your shoulders from this position, okay? Now, because it's higher position, the shoulders have less mobility, right? Or a different type of mobility, right? It's not the same. And also up here as well, right? Like I'm pushing in with my hands, right? And I realize it's a different type of mobility, right? It's not just like an Egyptian thing. It's anyway. So you squeeze the hands in from the face up. It doesn't matter where, but you realize that, yeah, the shoulders are really not, there's not as much mobility above the head as there is below the head with the shoulders. You should also be feeling that the breathing is tougher because now your heart has to pump blood up to your arm, so it's working a little bit harder. It becomes a little bit more cardiovascular. Okay, good. Put it down. And again, you should feel your arms now heavier because the shoulders are getting fatigued. So they're starting to drop, and you're starting to feel the weight of your arms more, right? And you give them a little wiggle just to feel them. Now you're going to push, but lower. So your hand is around your belt level, right? And again, start to work with your shoulders. So your hands stay low, but they're squeezing in. Now this feels better than above my head, but not as good as here. Like here in the middle, it feels great. But down here, shoulders don't feel as nimble as above, as in front of my chest. Awesome. Good. Let the arms hang again. Yeah. Feel them. I feel mine getting heavier for sure right now as we're doing this, right? Now you're going to grab your arms, and it doesn't matter. I kind of find it good like this. Some people do it like this. It doesn't really matter. Like, but I'm pulling out now. So I'm trying to only 25% trying to pull across. And then I'm starting to work with my shoulders. So there's a pulling motion, and I'm working with my shoulders. Lift it over your head. So for me, I feel this pulling apart motion easier above my head than I did pushing. Pushing in didn't feel um, as mobile as this. Now lower. So I'm pulling apart, right? Good. Stop. And let the arms hang. You should be feeling a little bit more heaviness coming to your arms like this are, and then less in the shoulders. Good. Open your arms up. Okay. Relax your shoulders. Relax your elbows. Right. So the shoulders and the elbows feel kind of low and heavy, and then put everything down. So I come kind of up, and it's like my elbows and my shoulders are low. And I put my hand down. So I'm trying to lift my arms to the side of me without going through my shoulders and down. So the movement begins from my hands and comes up. So it's like the last thing is my shoulder and my elbow. My hand comes up and my shoulders stay quite low. It almost, for me, feels like somebody's holding my shoulders down from behind, okay? And then what you do now is rise your arm. It can be one at a time, but try rise your hand without changing the level of your shoulder. So it's like you want to ask a question from the hand. You know, teacher asks if there's any question, and you think about rising your hand, not your shoulder at all. And try it in different ways, like from the side, from the other side. Different ways. And the main focus is keeping the shoulder low as you lift your hand up. How's it going, guys? How's it feel? Does it feel you're able to lift up without too much shoulder? So in your day-to-day life, I don't know where your cups are, but usually my cups in the kitchen are, you know, a little bit higher up, right? So you need to kind of, every chance you can, anytime you have to reach for something high, try go keep that shoulder low. Keep it low. And you notice the way I'm going up, look at the way I'm going up. See how, look at the angle of my, if I go this way, you see how it comes up? But if I go through the middle, now, how do I know this? Anybody ever separated their shoulder? You know what it looks like, right? This is the sling position. This is the position that the shoulder shuts off. It's not on right now. So if you want to rise it, you go through the middle and up it comes. Okay. This is the smoothest way not to go through. You never go like this. You can already see it. Even though I'm trying to keep it low, it's very, very hard not to tense up the shoulder like this. So the same when you're striking, you need to pick up the arm in such a way, see the shoulder is low. If I go like this, of course my shoulder will be high, 100%. So you need to spend a lot of time. That's why this position, right? It's low. The fist comes up, the shoulder is low, and it's quite easy to punch without activating the shoulder, right? So just practice it a little bit now, because this is an important concept to grasp, right? I want to rise my arm up without the shoulder. And then you want to make a fist, like a ready position. Make sure the shoulder is low. Like you see that slope on my shoulder? Look at that. It's like, and I have boxy shoulders. If I can get this, you guys have to be able to get it. And then you extend the arm and it comes back. But keep, like, literally, you know, wipe the dust off of you, right? Now, from time to time, I try different things to get rid of the tension, right? But this is a great drill if you're going to help somebody with this, because you're going to now, what I'm showing you, you're going to see now this problem in other people, whether it's people you know or don't know, whether it's Systema or not Systema. Grab your hands behind your back, okay? And you can just see how I grab mine. Usually, my non-dominant hand grabs my dominant hand, right? So I'm right-handed, kind of grabs it, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push down. So I'm pushing down, okay? And if you see my shoulders now, they're quite, there's a slope to them, right? So I'm pushing down, okay? Now, look at the position of my body, okay? Look at it. You see how the shoulders are now, they're behind the chest. So when I let my arms go, you see how first the shoulders sit more towards the back than they do the front. This is the problem with most people. We're front heavy, like they're from this position, right? They're front heavy. So you fix the posture first. So fix the person's posture. Then they grab the hand, push down, okay? And I don't know if how many of your grandfathers used to walk like this. I remember my grandfather walking like this all the time. He'd go for a walk, and this is how he walked. And at the time, I always wondered why they walk like that. But this is important. And then now, when you let your hands go, they should be in the perfect position, right? You don't want them in the front of the body. The arms belong a little bit more to the back. It's like 60% in the back. They're not, if you notice, there's a line, it cuts where my chest is, right? And the shoulder or the arm is towards the backside. And you could look at an anatomy chart. Just look at an anatomy chart. It'll show you exactly where the shoulder is supposed to be. And in general, it's front heavy. Okay, so we want to be back here. Okay, so walk around a little bit with your hands behind your back, push down so that the chest comes up, right? And now your arms are really behind your back, and see what that feels like. If this feels awkward, guys, this is a problem. It shouldn't feel awkward. It's awkward because you're too far forward. And when you let the hands go, right? When you let the hands go, they should sit in the right spot. Awesome, guys. Okay. Does that make sense? How do the shoulders feel? Do they feel like your arms are hanging now? It should feel heavy, guys. Now, you could get this carrying a couple of suitcases around the airport. The same feeling is going to come to you after a while. You're going to have your arms almost feel too long for your body. It's almost like mine feel like they're around my knees right now, but they're not. But they're so relaxed that I don't feel like it. I feel that generally they're probably up a little bit higher. So if your arms feel longer, that's the ticket, okay? Now, and if you can rise them without going through the shoulder, that's another good milestone for strikes. That's another one to know that you're in a good position for strikes, okay? Okay, good. Now, I don't want you to get, you can do this with push-ups, but I'm gonna try to do it standing up, and I'm just gonna turn the camera. I hope I don't get too much bad reception. Everybody still hear me? You got me good? You got me good? So I like using walls. I mean, there's one right here. I'm just gonna show you one right here, but I just wanna face you when I'm doing this, right? I love using walls because you don't have to look awkward in public doing it, right? You can just find a wall and do it. So I put myself on the wall, flat hand, right? I just put myself on the wall, and I'm trying to work with my shoulder. Okay, so I'm just pushing a tiny bit, right? I'm just pushing a tiny bit, okay, and I'm trying to work with my shoulder, forward, backwards, down, and up. Right? And I want to find what I want you to look for is find the point where, God, it's so hard to explain this. So I'm moving, and and all of a sudden it's like, there it is. There is the position that I can stay all day. My shoulders relaxed, my elbow, my wrist, my hand, my clavicle, all the pressure from this wall is going up. It's stacking on the bones, and I can feel it right in my legs right now. And I could stay here all day. It is the place where my body weight is resting on the bones. It's not on any muscle structure. Okay. Put your shoulder up. Like, how long do you think you can hold that position for? Like, this is a muscular effort. Like, you're holding it, but it's getting tiring. Or put your shoulder forward and look how awkward that is. Or put your shoulder low, and you can feel how my bones in the arm and shoulder are not lined up. Okay. You want to play with it. So I'm nice and light. I'm playing with it. I find where, okay, the ulna and the radius, which are the two bones of the forearm, and the humerus, I found this humerus, it's a joke, and my wrist are all lined up, and I can stay here all day. Now that is your punch. Like, that is when everything is stacked up, when all the bones are stacked up, connected to the body and the feet and all the power. That's going to be a heavy punch, because everything is lined up. The bones are lined up in such a way that your weight of your body is pushing into it. Okay, that makes sense, guys. It's a structural alignment. Okay, there is a reason when you're teaching somebody how to lift a heavy weight, everything is very structural. Okay, so try that with both hands. Find a wall, touch it, play with the shoulder, find the position that it feels super strong, and then lean in like you got nothing else to do in life. Just lean in, and it should feel comfortable, and you should be able to hold it for a long time. That's it, Eric. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, think of Legos, like they got to stack on each other. The wrist has to stack onto the elbow, has to stack onto the shoulder, has to stack onto the collarbone, spine, and the whole body. So you're literally resting on your bones. That's it. You can also try it with the fist. Neither here nor there. It's a little bit more difficult to find it, but it can still be found. Alex, watch me. Alex, you there? Alex, watch me. You're leaning a lot like that, so it's a little different. Try to stay like as straight as you can, like you normally sit, and put your hand on the wall. That's it. And now push. And now find the spot. You should, I bet you, feel more your feet than your ribs now. When you're leaning, it's like you're feeling your ribs, right? You want to push, you want to be like the perfect like L, like upside down L shape, right? So as I'm pushing into this wall, I feel the bones of the arm, I feel the shoulder down, and I feel my feet. So the actual push is coming from my feet. You feel it? Yes, no? Okay, good. Eric, watch me for a sec. I can't, from this angle, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's your shirt hanging, but what I do, just watch it. I stay really straight. So I got my posture, right? So I can feel my feet. Then I put my hand on the wall. I fix my distance. So I don't want to be like leaning like this. I want to be kind of straight, right? I don't necessarily want to feel my ribs. I want to feel the wall, which I'm pushing on here, and my feet. So those are the two ends I want to feel. Yeah. Don't leaning is a little different. Yeah, leaning is a little different because it's the same with punching. When you lean into the punch, you're a little vulnerable, right? I never saw Michael talk about this at all. He always talked about really good posture, proper distance, feeling your feet, like your whole body is one piece. Miro, how does that feel? Okay? Yeah, okay. Sorry guys, this stuff's really tricky. If I was there, it would be a little bit easier for me to kind of show you a little bit, but good. Awesome, guys. Watch me for a sec. You got it. Watch me for a sec. So again, nobody will watch you do, no one will see you do this, okay? So you'll be out, let's say at a mall or on an elevator or somewhere, transitioning, right? So what I usually do is I find like, I mean, when you're going through a hallway or something there, so I stay close to the wall. It's right here, right? I always know my distance. And this is another thing. It's teaching you distance of your strike. Like you should know, you should know the distance of your strike. It's not short, it's not long, it's exactly bang. Great speed comes because I know my distance, right? I know exactly, like the alligator knows the distance that he can jump. He knows it to the millimeter, how hard jump, right? So I stay close to the wall. Right? I got my wall at extension. I stay straight. So see, everybody try, do it with me, do it with me. Or you want to watch first? You want to watch? Okay, watch. I'm sorry. So below me, I'm squeezing my feet. I'm squeezing my feet. Okay, like I'm below, my toes are grabbing, right? I'm grabbing, so right down there, I can't see in the shot, but I'm grabbing with my toes. Then I stop. I can feel my feet. And then I come up, I feel my knees, I feel my hip, I feel my stomach, I feel my chest, I feel my shoulders, and I feel the wall. Now, when my hand touches that wall, I don't want to lose the feeling on my feet. I should still feel my feet. I should feel this as one big connection, not a sound on this end. I want to feel a connection. Okay. So then start again. Start from your feet, grab the ground just so you feel your toes, you feel the ground well. Comes up, come up, come up, boom. And you should feel the wall and the floor at the same time. And try with both sides, right? When you deliver a punch, if you've lost the feeling of your feet or the ground beneath you, it's no good. So tense up your toes, just grab the ground, then relax them so you still feel the ground. Pick up, feel the body, and then touch the wall with your fist and still feel the floor and your fist. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome, guys. Come around for a sec. Come around. So my teachings are laced with metaphors. Okay, you have to understand this, guys. Okay? This is an important thing about way I teach. Okay, the metaphor that you see here is how not to lose yourself. So the strike is an action in life. a job you want to go for, somebody you want to meet, whatever it is, something that's out there, okay? But you never should lose the feeling of the ground. What is your ground? What grounds you? What grounds you? What grounds us is the ground now. Of course, gravity grounds us here, okay? But when you're ungrounded, you're very unstable, and this can be problematic, right? So when I throw a punch, I get it. There's lots of desire. I'm upset. I'm angry. There's this thing, and I lose my ground. And you start to just start punching, and you can't even feel your feet, right? This is a low level. This is something for beginning martial arts, right? You need to find a way to throw your punch without losing the ground beneath you. And it is a metaphor, without losing. I need to handle a bad guy without becoming a bad guy. There's an interesting metaphor there. I need to know who I am, so that if I don't know clearly who I am, I'll lose who I am quickly. I need to know who I am and what I'll do. So this is super important, okay? That makes sense for everybody? So watch me strike. I just hope the reception doesn't go. You let me know if the reception gets shitty, okay? Is it okay? So just here's a solid concrete wall, okay? This is what I train on, okay? I don't, not to make my knuckles hard, but I study hard punches here because any desire will hurt me. Any extra will just, it'll hurt me, okay? So first I have to measure my strike. I'm not adding anything. My shoulders are relaxed, my arms are loose, right? I can raise my hand without going through my shoulder, and then I go. Now, if I didn't measure right, I feel it. It hurts me. I fix my position, bang. Feels a little bit better, bang, bang, bang. And it doesn't hurt me. Like there's not, I'm not banging up my knuckles, right? But this teaches me, rather than a bag, which is back there, which I use for the kids, this teaches me humility. That if I do, I hurt myself when I do this, okay? I make sure that my length is perfect. I got to know the length of my arm perfect. You see my shoulder? At extension, it's low. It's not high at extension, okay? You understand, guys, in boxing, they taught this because it covers the chin. Yeah, so you got to see where this comes from. This is not the way, right? Relax the shoulders, right? So I'm trying to, let's see if I get a better camera position. There we go. Boom. So from any position, I should know exactly my punch, exactly. Right? And the shoulder is low. Okay? Any position. That's better. So I'm teaching myself precision. I'm teaching myself accuracy. I'm teaching myself no desire with the punch. I don't add anything extra. I don't need anything extra. You don't need anything extra. So you find a hard surface, preferably not your dining room area where your significant other might be upset with you, okay? Find something and try punching fast and hard, but start slow, and see if you've measured perfectly. See if how you keep this thing in check. Eric, watch me. Hand up first here, and then go. It always comes back. Yep. Yeah. Eric, watch what you're doing. Not from here. It's not like this. It's up, out. Yep. Mira, let it go. Let it go. Unless that's a good wall. If it's like a drywall or something, don't do that.
Are you also
Yeah.
going up through your chest when you're doing it out to the side?
Oh yeah, yeah. From all positions. For me, it's all positions. Yeah, yeah. Remember, this is not knuckle toughening. There's nothing to do with this. It's ego checking. Alberto, watch me for a sec. Watch. Alberto, watch me. Miro, watch me too. These are the tricks. So you're getting close. So Alberto, that's what you're doing. You're getting close and then you're slowing down. Okay. You shouldn't. It should speed up the whole way. Like you're just not sure. You're slowing down as you get closer because you're not sure if you're accurate. Let it go. Let it go and just measure right. Measure right. That's it. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. It's going to take some time, but watch me. So here's another one I do. Okay. You can do this as well. So I'm going to walk up to the wall. So I'm gonna kind of have to turn the camera a little bit. So I'm going to take like 1, 2, bang. What I'm trying to do is, it's one thing to stay still and figure this out. It's another thing to do this with a walk. So in other words, if I'm walking towards you, right? 1, 2, boom. I've got to, I don't want to knock this. This is an expensive phone, okay? I don't want to damage it. So measure back. So try with a walk. Can you plant your fist exactly with a walk? No, you stopped a little bit, Eric. Kind of, yeah. How many of you ever screwed up a handshake walking towards somebody? Or you got there too soon and it was awkward? You try to kind of meet it at the right spot where distance is perfect with a handshake, right? It's the same with a handshake. You don't want to get too close. There you go. But you stopped a little here. No stopping. It's like bang. Yeah, that's it. This way you start to learn how to punch people in motion, like while walking towards them. Distance has to be perfect. That's it. Now, another way you can do this, because depending on who you're teaching. So when I'm teaching the kids in the kids class, I tell them, instead of thinking of punching the wall because it's too much for them, I tell them there's a spider right there, right? Go kill the spider. And they got it, but not like that, not like heavy, just enough to kill the spider, but not scratch the paint or dirty the paint. It's quick. They gotta measure their effort. It's the same idea. You got to measure your effort, right? You're studying distance, pressure. Anything too much will hurt your hand. There you go. Not bad, guys. Not bad. It's good. Okay, you got it. You can practice this till the cows come home after. Okay, watch me. Well, a few more things, okay? How's it? It's not, it's okay? It's okay? So watch. And again, I'm grabbing with my toes, so I feel the floor, right? And then what I'm doing is pressure's coming up and I'm building up pressure. So I feel pressure in my feet, I feel it in my body, I feel it in my hands, and I push myself out of away from the wall. The most important thing is that when I push myself, my whole body moves. I'm not like kind of pushing more with the upper body and leaning back. I have to relax my legs. Or let me see if I can get a better angle for you. Yeah. So I relax my legs. So I'm pushing here and I'm pushing down, right? And then in one motion, I'm going to do a push up and my whole body has to go back as one piece. Let me see if I can get different angles here. You can kind of see me fly. So you shouldn't see me like this. That's what you don't want. Right? I'm pushing, and I'm pushing myself with good posture. I need to, my whole body's got to move away in 1 second. Try it, guys. Yeah. So that, believe me, this, you're studying how you want to punch when you punch, going opposite to the punch. What, I think I lost you. That's it, Eric. That's it. But closer. Eric, go a little closer. Chest to the wall. It's perfect. Go closer. Yeah. Grab the floor, grab the wall, and in 1 second, push your whole body away. That's it. Just don't let the back lean back. Okay, now try one hand. Place one hand on the wall, the same thing, but one hand. Relax yourself, relax your body, grab the floor with your feet, push into the wall, feel the whole body, and push yourself in one motion, the whole body off. This is more challenging for sure. This is more challenging. But again, it's teaching you to connect with your feet, your back, and your hand. So if you desire with your hand too much, your shoulder comes up, your back arches back. Everything has to be connected when you decide to make a punch. Okay, guys, good. Come close, come close. I'm giving you all these things that are not meant to be perfected, okay? They're not meant to be perfected, just understood, okay? Remember, another part of my teachings is if I was trying to learn a language, okay? Alberto, put it on mute, please, for a second. Just put it on mute.
Sorry.
Please, it's okay. If I was trying to learn a language, like let's say German, okay, just give you an example, right? The more of a perfectionist I was, the less I would learn German. The more I was willing to make a mistake, the quicker I would learn German. That's it. When you're studying a language, you learn much better when you don't give a shit. That's why kids learn languages so much easier than adults. Because we're trying to get it perfect, they don't care about it. The words will come. If you try to make this perfect, you are not going to learn what you need. This is not about, the concept is simple. If I punch, I must feel my feet. I must feel the ground beneath me. If I'm going to be successful in life, I should never forget ground. What grounds me? What are the things? Okay. In other words, it's only when you go ahead and you lose your footing. Okay. This applies to women, kids, job, and martial arts. Okay, feel the floor, and this is what I believe. This is why I believe Michael has walking all the time. He has this feeling the ground. He goes, if a metaphor brings me down, it's movement and knowing where the floor is. I know it grounds me with the punch, I know it grounds with everything. So please see this, okay? How'd you find it, guys? How do you feel? Arms feel any different? No way.
No, feeling good.
I'll tell you a funny story. So
Feeling good. Yeah.
I tell you an interesting story. So one of my students from France, he's a military guy, and I've worked with him for the last 5-10 years with PTSD, like a lot of post-traumatic, like kind of those kind of things, right? Super amazing guy. Like, honestly, I love the dude. He's an amazing guy and he's done some amazing things. But he has grown so much because instead of seeing the bad side of things, he's seeing the good side of things now. And he sent me this nice video of him punching like some sort of a ball. And he did great, but he was far too serious. His face was neutral. You know, it looked great, but the face was neutral. And he says, "Is there anything I can improve?" And I said, "Smile a little bit." And he goes, and he says he didn't understand why. I said, "Bruce, are you assuming that the person you're punching didn't deserve this? Are you assuming that they didn't earn your punch? Like, why would you assume that?" And he's like, "I never thought of it like that. If you train yourself right and you punch people that just deserve it, that's all I gotta say, right? Don't assume that the person getting the beating didn't deserve the beating." I made that mistake a long time ago. So if you train yourself the right way, shouldn't you feel happy with your punch? I feel that, and it changes entire perspective. You guys you're striking because you're worried that maybe you'll be wrong or maybe don't see it that way. Train yourself as in the optimum thing and say, maybe the person really deserved that. I want to be able to throw a good punch if the person really deserved my punch, right? I want to be able to give a good hug if somebody truly deserves a hug. Didn't you say that? Would you agree? Do you not want to be available for somebody to give them a hug? Well, what's wrong with the punch? If they truly deserved it, just being honest, guys. There's some humor in all of this, okay? Don't get it too serious. Punches are wonderful things, and I like to teach them through problems. Shoulders are a problem. Desire is a problem. Too much desire to punch. So hit a wall. You won't desire it too much. Work with your shoulders. You'll see the punch will become much cleaner. Okay. I hope you enjoyed everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Got some interesting stuff for next week already planned. I was working on a lot. I'll post the video, and you know where to find me if you have a question. Okay.
Okay.
Ground yourself. Ground yourself.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks, man.
everybody. I'll see you
Thanks.
Monday. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Enjoy. Thanks, man.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.
Again, bye.
Bye, guys.